My grandparents were part of the greatest generation. My grandpa was a World War II veteran, and both he and my grandmother worked around the clock, whether at their 9-to-5 or volunteering, to take care of their kids and their grandkids. And though they never amassed some large pile of money, they were not wealthy, they understood that net worth was far more than just dollars and cents. They understood that net worth included things like work ethic, family harmony, faith, values. These are the things that make us who we are. And that's something that the greatest generation understood so well. My name is Doug Coe, and I'm an estate planning attorney at Legacy Legal. Long before I was born, back in 1958, my grandparents bought this piece of property. At that time, it was nothing but a field filled with thorn bushes. But they understood that through hard work and patience, it could be transformed into something far greater. They understood that ancient script that says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And that text isn't talking about making a whole lot of money so that it lasts for generations. See, I think it's talking about being a good and faithful steward of the assets that you've been entrusted with. My grandparents were not entrusted with large sums of money, but that's not the only thing when it comes to net worth. See, they had an incredible work ethic. They had a love for education. They understood delayed gratification. And those were the assets that they really wanted to transfer throughout the generations. Right here, in the last couple years of my grandfather's life, I had a pivotal conversation with him when I was 6 or 7. He explained that the walnut grove right behind me that he was planting was to pay for the college education of my grandchildren, multiple generations in the future. It's that type of investment in the future that set the greatest generation apart. The fact that this land has gone now through 3 separate generations is evidence of an effective estate plan. But the fact that assets like work ethic and a love for education have also transferred is evidence of a truly successful estate plan. When we help clients with their estate plan, one of the things they almost always say at the very end of the process is something along the lines of, wow, I feel so much better now that we have that done. You see, a custom, well-built estate plan can create an amazing sense of peace, a peace of mind that's so helpful to have. Throughout the process, I talk to clients about money being like dynamite. It is an awesome, powerful tool, but too much at the wrong time or in the wrong hands can be a real problem. And of course, not enough won't get the job done. And so when you're thinking about transferring assets to a beneficiary, we always want to be cognizant of whether or not this quantity of dynamite will be helpful or will it cause problems potentially. And though so many clients are eager for that peace of mind, they're often intimidated on the front end by the idea of going through the estate planning process. There's questions like, well, how much is this going to cost? How much time will it take? How big of a headache is it going to be to actually get that estate plan put together? In addressing those questions and concerns, we've built a system that serves the average Kansan. Instead of focusing on the upper 1% of Kansans that have millions and millions of dollars, we focus our services on the average Kansan. And though we certainly help clients all the time with $1, $5, or $10 million, on an almost daily basis, we're helping clients with $50,000 in savings, $100,000 in their retirement account, and sometimes less. We leverage technology so that we can be efficient to get the job done in a timely manner. And we do it with flat fees so that before a client is ever committed, they know exactly what the cost will be. It's things like that that make the process so much easier for the everyday Kansan. Whether you're working with me, with one of the other attorneys at Legacy Legal, or one of the other members of our world-class staff, our team is passionate about helping you achieve that same peace of mind that so many other clients have received. If you are ready to get your affairs in order, we are here to help with your custom estate plan. If you are needing to sort out the affairs of a loved one that has passed away, we are here to help guide you through the probate process. Unfortunately, not everybody has the foresight to put together a custom estate plan prior to passing away. We get calls all the time from family members saying, "Hey, I just need to sell mom and dad's house, but the title company says I can't." Or, "I just need to get access to dad's retirement account now that he passed away, but they're telling me I need court orders." In that case, we help clients through the probate process. Probate is something that ideally we would avoid, but it is something that routinely happens. And when we're there, we do everything we can to make the process as straightforward and as simple as possible. Depending on the situation, there's some shorter, more simple tools that may well get the job done. And in those times when we have to go through the full-blown court process, though it's always a headache, we do our very best to get it done as quickly as possible, as affordably as possible, and with as few surprises as possible. If you're in that situation where you're trying to sort out affairs for a loved one, we would be honored to have a conversation about what tools may help you sort out those affairs. Another question we often get is, what happens if my beneficiaries aren't ready to properly steward the financial resources I've been blessed with? If that's one of your questions, let's talk about Trustee services. If you're wanting to leave financial assets for the benefit of a minor child or a disabled adult, or perhaps a loved one with substance abuse issues, a revocable trust may be a fantastic tool to consider. They're not just for the super wealthy. Trusts can be used effectively when there's more dynamite than what a beneficiary is ready to handle. And whenever you use a trust, you need a trustee to handle those affairs for you in your absence. When you're naming a trustee, you generally have 3 categories to choose from: friends and family, big bank, and independent trustee. Friends and family can work well, but about 40% of the time, it destroys family harmony. If family harmony is an important part of your net worth, you want to be very thoughtful about whether or not you want to jeopardize that part of your net worth. Your second option is a big bank. They are corporate, sterile, neutral, professional, responsible, and usually it's your most expensive route. There is a time and a place where a big bank is a fantastic choice. But for most of my clients, it's overkill. Your third option is an independent trustee like Legacy Legal. We try to come in somewhere in between friends and family and a big bank. where we were never invited to Thanksgiving dinner in the first place, and so family harmony is not jeopardized in the same way. And at the same time, we have that training and experience and perspective to serve extremely effectively as a trustee. If this conversation would be helpful to further explore, we would love to discuss your specific situation and the advantages and disadvantages of a trust and your various options for that successor trustee. If you've been thinking about putting together your own estate plan to create that peace of mind, or perhaps you've just lost a loved one and you just need help sorting out their affairs now that they're gone, we would love to help. You can either reach out on the phone to schedule an appointment in our office, or you can book online directly through our website. Either way, we'd be honored to help and would love to have a conversation.